Hey, everybody. As you can see from if you're listening to this on audio, then you can't see this. But if you are listening to it on audio, you are missing two, really strikingly handsome men live here. They're in the other cubicle behind us. You see, you're stuck with Jorge and I. But I'm here at Pack Expo in the lovely media lounge. It's actually quite nice to be in here. I'll be totally honest with you. Having access to just people and food and rest and conversation has been wonderful. So thanks to PMMI for treating us well. If you are able to watch this live, we're here live on LinkedIn. We're live on my YouTube channel, and you have a question for Jorge, or you want to know what's going on at the show, please feel free to drop it into the comments. We can see them, and we'll try to get to those questions. And thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your day. Thanks for taking time out of your day. You are a busy man.
No, Adam, it's a pleasure. Always nice to chat with you. It's refreshing.
Oh, good.
For the invitation.
Okay, good. Well, that voice you heard is, okay, I'm going to get it right. I think I'm going to nail it this time. Jorge Izquierdo.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah, I guess you have been getting your Spanish lessons, recently.
Yeah, I've been practicing, really trying to refine, what's the app? What is it?
Lingo.
Yeah, Duolingo. Yeah, that's the one. Thanks. Rose is behind the scenes. She's helping us out. Yeah, but I haven't done any practicing, actually. I just...
pretty well. I'm impressed.
I only can say one word. Izquierdo. That's all I've worked on just for this moment, Jorge.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But Jorge, do you want to do a quick introduction for people who maybe don't know you? And
Absolutely.
Then we'll talk about the show.
So I'm Vice President of Market Development for PMMI. I'm responsible for all research that we do. PMMI certainly release a number of reports and white papers that are available for most of them are available to all the industry in general. If you want to take advantage of it, download some of them. You can go to pmi.org/research and just access them directly. One of the things I'm doing here at the show is walking the show, chatting with people, and more than anything, trying to identify what are the trends, the drivers, that are moving the investment in automation.
Yeah, definitely. And so this is a great time to talk about it. Certainly want to encourage people to go to, you said it's pmmi.org/research. Okay.
Yes.
pmmi.org/research. You know what I'm going to do? Watch this. This is going to be fun on the live stream. Look at this. We got banners, and then create a banner. I'm just going to add this in real quick. Oh, that's really loud. pmmi.org/research. Scroll along the bottom of the screen, add banner, and look, there it is. There it goes. Right there.
How much is that going to cost me?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a pretty good ROI for me. What'd that take? 15 seconds? And it's only going to be probably 15 grand worth of Bitcoin.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. It's it's okay. You'll get the contract later. No, so everyone, go check out pmmi.org/research. So what are some of the market trends that you're seeing here that are really driving automation? I mean, certainly there's been some of the conversations I've heard have been around the uncertainty of just the overall kind of industry, right? Where you've got obviously we've had like labor force problems and challenges. We've had there's this pandemic, this COVID pandemic that I don't know, I've never heard of, but apparently a lot of people have. That it was just, and then you've got like some of these recessionary forces with interest rates going up, and so that was kind of some of the conversations that I had with people. Were we know we need to invest, we know we need to automate, we know we need to get into this. But there still was kind of an air of uncertainty around the market dynamics. Have you heard something? Now, granted, my conversations were really limited. So if you're like, no, I haven't heard any of that, it would not surprise me. You've probably had many more conversations than I have.
So it's interesting, I'm going to touch briefly on many of the things you mentioned.
Okay.
So first of all, when COVID started, we honestly, as an industry, were kind of panicking. What's happening? It's April 2020 was very very tough month. I mean, everything kind of slowed down, and you say, gee, when things are going to start again. And suddenly, May and June were incredible months, and the rest of the year was unbelievable for the industry. It was a record year. And then we thought, well, 2021, COVID somehow got under control,
Mhm.
more under control. We were able now to go out and attend out the events like this, go out and have dinner at a restaurant, this kind of thing. So,
Which, by the way, the
so
virtual events were okay. But this is way better. It's just way better to be with
person.
people,
Oh, yeah,
right? I mean,
absolutely. No
yeah,
question, no question.
yeah.
So then we thought, oh, things are going to slow down, because the COVID at the end of the day helped the industry because so much of consumption went through supermarkets, through packaged products. That it helped our industry, to be honest. But we thought it's going to slow down, and then what we found out is workforce that's been an issue for a number of years. Just hit us hard in terms of the industry, in terms of all the manufacturers of consumer products,
Hmm.
and the need that they have, the urgency that they have to address those workforce problems with technology.
Right.
And I think that's where we are right now. You walk the floor, and many of the things that you see is uh, many of the questions of the people visiting the show are related to how can you help me address this problem.
Yeah.
And then there are a number of ways that technology can do that. But let me answer your question. Uh, right now, in terms of a slowdown in the industry, we don't have a clear indicator of an let me tell you, not of a recession, yes, for a slowdown, and it's to be expected. We are coming back from two record years, 2020, 2021, were unbelievable years. Between the end of 2019 and now, the sales of packaging equipment grew by 40%. So
Hmm.
it's amazing. So there's no way you can keep that level of growth, right? However, it's going to slow down, but what we're looking in front of us, it's growth more on the side of maybe the 7%, and the next year maybe slowing down to 6-5%.
Okay.
uh, One of the reasons is the drivers are still there. Certainly the problems with workforce, it's not just a problem of numbers, not you don't have people, that's a big problem, of
Right.
course, but also it's a significant problem of skill gaps between what the people what are the capabilities or of the people that you can find,
Hmm.
and what are the capabilities that you need actually to operate your equipment. So it's significant. We don't expect and I'm going to be very specific, a recession in our industry,
Correct.
but a slowdown. Yeah.
Yep. No, that makes a ton of sense. And
Mm.
let's my buddy Esteban Garcia chimed in with just the word nice. I don't know what was nice. Maybe it was just us. Probably. Esteban's been a great friend. He works for a software company that it's an MIS system called CERM.
Oh,
And I met him when we worked at WS Packaging together, and he was a supervisor in the press room and has grown his career, and
wow.
it's been really great. So Esteban, thanks for tuning in and watching.
Nice
If you got any
meeting you.
questions for Jorge, please drop them in the comments. Let us know. Okay, so expecting still growth. I mean, when you say like 6 or 7% growth, it's not like it's
Not
just
bad.
it's not bad. No, it's actually really great.
Yeah.
Just it hasn't been the same accelerated level of growth, and that would be to be expected.
That's correct. I mean, we're coming from a close to 15% growth, in
Mhm.
2020. So, and again, that's a record year. And after a 15%, you put on top another 12%. So
Yeah,
it's significant. Yeah.
no doubt. And so I've noticed there's been a lot of really great speakers at the innovation stage and some of those places. Have you been able to attend any of those kind of talks, or anything that
Yes.
you're finding that not just is being kind of displayed on the floor, but also being discussed, and because those rooms are packed. And
So
it's like standing room only in some of these talks. I'm like,
yes,
geez, this is
yes,
great.
and I've been in a couple of those, and I would say there's two that I found very very interesting. One is actually it was today. The name was the future of automation.
Mm,
It's a company named Interact Analysis, and very very interesting in terms of uh, pretty much how the industry is adapting industry 4.0 technologies, how it's going, uh, what are the things that are kind of driving this adoption, and what are the things that are kind of slowing it down.
yeah.
So it was very interesting. It seems things like predictive maintenance, they are gaining a lot of interest. Um, so it was very revealing, things like also the more maybe further down into the future, but digital twins, that
Hmm.
it's starting to be used more and more in the technology. So it's very cool. That's on one hand, and it's part of the technology. On the other hand, very interesting as well, was on one on sustainability. The name is the packaging material sustainability compass, and it's very cool because it's not about what material is more sustainable than the other,
Yeah.
but it's just the results of a study in terms of where CPGs, manufacturer of consumer products, where are they going in terms of packaging? What material they are replacing with what other material, right? And
Yeah.
at this point, again, it's not about, oh, this is better, the footprint here, the carbon footprint, whatever. No, it's just reporting what they are telling
Right.
and what CPGs are doing. It was very interesting and kind of laying out a kind of a roadmap into where the industry is going towards sustainability.
Was that with the tool, the Compass tool? Is that what they were talking about, where they can pull in LCAs, or was that just the word?
It's, I guess, more than I think it's a word. I guess
Okay.
the intention was more like it's not it's the specific number like 3 decimals or things like that. It's more like, hey, we're going that way.
Got it. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. I got to
Mhm.
go to one. It actually kind of combined both of those. It was Matthew Wright from SpecWright, and he talked about driving cost savings and sustainability through spec data management. And it was again, I mean, the room was packed. Like I couldn't sit down. There's
Yes.
people, and it's like, man, the idea that that somebody could come to a show like this and be kind of challenged in what their thoughts are on cost savings and sustainability through not just through automation but also through technology, I thought was really eye-opening for a lot of people. And so that was one of the talks that I got to go to. It seems like the conversation around sustainability at these shows has become slightly different, and that it's more holistic.
Yes.
That's what I've noticed, is it's not just people throwing the word sustainability up on their booth and saying like, "Hey, we're sustainable," but it's real true innovation that seems to really be driving the conversations.
Absolutely. Two comments. You talked about these sessions and the interaction. I found it very interesting. One we have there's on the show floor something that we call the forum.
Yeah.
You know, and it's more like, well, it's not a presentation; it's an exchange. It's designed to be an exchange. It's like, hey, come in. We're going to write in the wall, our thoughts, and we're going to. What do you think? What this other person think? They disagree, and that's okay to disagree. It's just about sharing
I love it.
different points of view. So it's very cool.
Somebody had a robot dog. Have you
Yes.
seen the robot dog?
I missed the robot dog. I know about it, but I haven't. Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me, Jorge. I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden, this robot dog comes out of nowhere and just starts like jumping around and like frolicking and had this whole thing. And I was like, what does this have to do with packaging? What's the robot dog here for? Anyway, I didn't know if that was on the forum or not. That's what made me think of it. Well, hey, we're here at the kind of towards the tail end of our conversation. Again, if you got any questions, please drop them and we'll try to get them in. But I wanted to give you maybe some last thoughts on it's the third day. it's not the first year back, right? We had
Mhm.
we had the show last year. Um, the energy here is insane. There are so
Yes.
I've been to a few shows at McCormick Place, McCormick Center, McCormick Place,
McCormick Place. Yeah.
Place. There it is. And this show it feels different. First, it's I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's more attendees. I don't know what that information is, but it's like a healthy critical mass is what I would say is what it feels like
It's
here.
you're right. It's a healthy critical mass, but it's also, it's a very fun industry. It's an industry of, in general, people, they're very open. They are used to change. They're always, pushing for change, but also very nice group of people. As human beings, it's so. I mean, you're chatting with somebody, and you're walking, you're chatting with somebody, and oh yeah, sure. Suddenly they are best friends. It's amazing. It's just the industry in general. The space around our industries. We're very lucky.
I bonded with a guy today. He's a packaging engineer because he was wearing some LeBron James shoes, and we had a whole like 30-minute conversation about packaging and about basketball, and it was quite lovely.
Yeah.
And you just don't ever you don't have those. It's tough to have that virtually. So, well, Jorge, any last thoughts on the show here?
I
Anything you want to leave the people with?
So it's something very interesting. So our show is about technology, right? It's pretty much our goal is kind of matching users and suppliers of technology. That's perfect. One thing that's been very interesting that I've heard at the show is, yes, technology is quite important, but when you're trying to do things like this year with supply chain, a lot of problems with materials, with let's say flexible packaging, for example, films. You cannot get the right film, you need to replace it, you get a new material, and then suddenly it's a problem to run the new material on your equipment, right? Because not they're different, they're
Right.
different, they have different attributes, different properties. You need to adjust, you need to uh, figure the way to do it, and it takes time, and it forces to drop the productivity sometimes. And it's interesting, we are a technology show. However, what I've been point out by a couple of the exhibitors and attendees is, it's a lot about relationships. When you're trying to address, you have a problem with that needs the attention of your material supplier, of the supplier of the equipment, and the manufacturer of the product. You need the three of them to play very well together.
Hmm.
It's more about developing partnerships, working well together. So while it's a very technology oriented show, it has a very strong human
Mm.
side for it. And what you said earlier, being in person makes a difference.
Definitely, definitely. We certainly believe, like my podcast is called The People of Packaging, right? Like
Mhm, mhm.
it's people first, and then we're going to talk about packaging. And there is a very human side to the packaging industry, which is why I think shows like this draw so many people, is because oftentimes, packaging engineers and packaging equipment is sort of this like afterthought in a lot of these
Yeah.
companies. And here you really get to, I was talking to a guy who's at a brand, and he's like, it's amazing to come to this show and just to the attention that you get all of a sudden, I mean,
Yeah.
because so many times they're just kind of siloed, and then to come here and it's the industry is placed at the forefront, and I think it's a really special thing. So Jorge, thank you so much for joining. Thank you to, let's see, we got Nate came in here at the very end. It says, great point, relationships are key. Totally agree, Nate. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for watching live. This will be out on the People of Packaging podcast as soon as I have time. Hopefully, today or tomorrow. At least I'm being honest, right? I mean, relationships are key.
Relationships are key, Adam.
They are.
It's
They
a
are for
pleasure
sure.
to be here with you.
It's always a pleasure, Jorge. And thanks if you're able to watch this live. Great. If you're watching it on replay, you can still keep commenting. If you want to tag, you're on LinkedIn, right?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. We'll tag Jorge Izquierdo. That's the third time I've said that. Tag him in your question, and you can jump in and answer it. And if he doesn't, then I'll make it up an answer, and it'll
No,
be
I will be more than happy to do it. And Adam, it's always a pleasure.
always a pleasure. Esteban says, thank you. Very interesting. I agree. Esteban, you got to get out here sometime, man. Appreciate y'all. Thanks so much. Thanks again, Jorge. PMMI, been great.